Imagine this. Your phone buzzes, you open your banking app, and before the balance even loads, your stomach already drops because you know the truth. You are not completely broke, but you are not safe either. You have enough money to survive the week, maybe the next bill, maybe the next grocery trip. But if one thing goes wrong, your car breaks, your phone dies, a medical bill shows up, your job suddenly gets shaky, everything starts falling apart. That is the real fear. Not being broke today, but knowing one random Tuesday could ruin your entire month. And that is exactly why you need an emergency fund. Not someday, not after you make more money. Now, because most people think, I'll build an emergency fund when I finally get my life together. But the truth is the opposite. You build an emergency fund so you can finally get your life together. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build your first emergency fund in 60 days, even if you feel broke right now. Not with extreme sacrifice, not with fake motivation, but with a simple system that works with real life. And the best part? You do not need $10,000 to feel safer. Even your first $500 to $600 can change the way you sleep at night. Here's the goal: $600 in 60 days. That sounds big at first, but break it down. $600 in 60 days is $10 a day. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have an extra $10 a day, that is exactly why this plan is not just about saving. We're going to find that money in 4 ways: separating it, stopping leaks, creating quick cash, and protecting it from yourself. Because the hardest part is not only making the money, the hardest part is not accidentally spending it when life gets emotional. So, let's build the system. Step 1: separate the money. The first mistake people make is keeping their emergency fund in the same account where they spend money. That is not an emergency fund. That is money waiting to disappear. If you see it every day, your brain treats it as available. And when you are tired, stressed, bored, or tempted, you will find a reason to use it. So the first step is simple. Open a separate savings account, or use a second wallet, or create a separate space where this money lives. Then rename it something serious. Not savings. Call it Do Not Touch Fund or Random Tuesday Fund, because that is what this money is for. It is for the random Tuesday when life suddenly tests you. And if your bank lets you hide the account from your main screen, hide it. Make it slightly harder to touch, because willpower is weak. Environment is stronger. You are not just saving money. You are designing a system that protects the money from your worst moments. Step 2: automate something small. Now set up an automatic transfer, not at the end of the month, not when you remember, not when you feel motivated, right after payday. If you can do $10 a day, do it. If you can only do $5, start there. If even $5 feels hard, start with $2. The amount is not the point at first. The habit is the point. Because the worst savings plan is I'll save whatever is left. There is never anything left. Your lifestyle will always find a way to use the money unless you move it first. So move it before your brain can negotiate. And this is where most people get it wrong. They try to save too much too fast. Then life gets tight. They pull the money back. They feel like they failed, and they quit. Don't do that. Start smaller than your ego wants. Make it almost impossible to fail. A small transfer that actually happens is more powerful than a big plan you abandon after 2 weeks. Step 3: get your first $100 fast. Now here's where the momentum starts. Your first $100 is important, not because $100 solves everything, but because it proves something. It proves this is real. It proves money can stay with you. It proves you are not just watching another finance video and doing nothing. So, your first mission is simple. Get your first $100 in 7 days. There are 3 easy ways. First, cancel one thing, open your bank statement and look for subscriptions, streaming services, app fees, random trials, memberships, anything you forgot you were paying for. Cancel one. Second, use the 48-hour rule. For the next 60 days, every non essential purchase waits 48 hours. Not forever, just 48 hours. You will be shocked how many things you no longer want after 2 days. Impulse fades when you stop feeding it. Third, sell one thing. Look around your home. Old headphones, shoes you don't wear, a keyboard, a camera, an appliance, clothes sitting in the closet. List one item this weekend. If it sells for $40, great. If it sells for $80, even better. If it sells for $120, that is almost one-fifth of your entire goal. And yes, selling stuff counts. We are not trying to look impressive. We are trying to stop being financially fragile. Now, before we move on, let me say something important. If you are already thinking, this is too small, that is exactly the trap. Small does not mean useless. Small is how trust is rebuilt. You are proving to yourself that money does not have to vanish the moment it enters your life. That is the real win. Step 4. Find the leaks. Most people do not lose money through one giant mistake. They lose it through small leaks. The $12 order, the $8 snack run, the $17 subscription, the $25 delivery meal, the random online purchase you barely remember. None of these feels dangerous alone, but together they quietly destroy your financial margin. So, for the next 2 weeks, use a simple method. Divide your spending into 3 categories. Must, maybe. Mess. Must is rent, utilities, basic groceries, transport, medicine, minimum debt payments. Maybe is stuff you enjoy but could reduce for 60 days. Takeout, entertainment, convenience, upgrades. Mess is the spending you regret. The emotional purchase, the late night order, the subscription you forgot, the thing you bought because you were tired, stressed, or bored. Your emergency fund does not come from starving yourself. It comes from maybe and mess. If you find just $50 a week there, that is $400 over 8 weeks. That is most of your emergency fund. And you did not have to destroy your life to find it. You just had to stop letting money leak out unnoticed. Step 5. Make food. Simple for 60 days, food is where a lot of people get wrecked. Not because they are irresponsible, because food decisions happen when people are exhausted. After work, you're tired. You're hungry, you have no plan. So delivery wins, takeout wins, convenience wins, and your emergency fund loses. So for 60 days, make food boring on purpose. Pick 5 cheap default meals. Meals you can repeat without thinking. Rice, eggs, and frozen vegetables. Pasta with sauce and tuna or chicken. Oats with banana and peanut butter. Beans or lentils with bread or tortillas. Simple soup. Basic meal prep. This is not forever. This is a 60-day sprint. The goal is not to become a perfect chef. The goal is to remove the daily decision. And here is the key. Allow one planned treat per week. Planned, not random. Because if you remove all joy, you will rebel and spend more later. You are not punishing yourself. You are training yourself. Big difference? Step 6. Add one quick income boost. Cutting expenses helps. But cutting has limits. So now we add income, not by starting a business empire, not by becoming a millionaire in a weekend. Just one quick boost. Ask for an extra shift. Take overtime if it is available. Do one weekend gig. Delivery driving, tutoring, helping someone move, cleaning, pet sitting, freelance work, editing a video, selling something for someone else. The goal is simple. Make an extra $100 to $200 and move it immediately into the emergency fund. Immediately. Do not let it sit in your spending account. Because money without a purpose gets absorbed by lifestyle. You can also call one provider: phone, internet, insurance. Ask, do you have a cheaper plan or any promotion available? The worst answer is no. But sometimes one call saves $20, $30, or $50 a month. That is not just money for this challenge. That is a leak closed permanently. Step 7. Protect the fund now. This part matters because building the fund is only half the battle. The other half is not spending it on fake emergencies. So write this down. An emergency is something that threatens your health, housing, income, basic utilities, or essential transportation. That is it. A sale is not an emergency. A vacation is not an emergency. A bad day is not an emergency. Boredom is not an emergency. A new phone because your current phone feels old is not an emergency. You need this rule before temptation shows up. Because when emotions are high, logic gets quiet. And if you ever use the fund for a real emergency, the next mission is simple: refill it. If you use $150 for a car repair, you rebuild that $150 first. That is how the fund stays alive. It is not a trophy, it is a tool. Here's what this looks like in real life. Imagine someone named Maya. Every month was tight. Every surprise bill went on a credit card. Then, the credit card payment made the next month even tighter. That is the financial domino effect. One small emergency creates debt. Debt creates payments. Payments reduce cash flow. Then, the next emergency hits harder. Maya did not fix her whole life overnight. She opened a separate account, automated $5 a day, canceled 2 subscriptions, sold a few things, did one weekend gig. By day 30, she had a little over $300. Then her car needed a repair. Old Maya would have used a credit card and carried the stress for months. New Maya paid cash, and that moment changed everything. Not because she was rich, but because she realized, I can handle life. That is what an emergency fund gives you. Not luxury, not status, not a perfect financial life. It gives you the ability to face a random Tuesday without falling apart. So here's your 60-day plan. Separate the money, automate a small transfer, get your first $100 fast, find the leaks, make food simple, add one quick income boost, define what counts as a real emergency, and protect the fund like it protects you. You do not need to wait until life gets easier. You do not need to wait until you earn more. You do not need to become a completely different person. You need one small action today. Open the account, set the transfer, cancel one subscription, sell one thing, write down your emergency rule. Because 60 days from now, you have 2 choices. You can still be hoping nothing breaks. Or you can become the person who can handle it when something does. And that person is built one small decision at a time.